Thrand here, and we're here with the medieval Shoppe River Thames sword. I'm sure that it's named after the location it was found, the design. It's beautiful hilt. Some other people make swords that are similar to this one. Some other, I don't want to name any companies or armorers or sword makers, but sometimes they'll call it the Godfred sword. So what we did instead of, or the Godfred sword, which was King Godfred or Godfred of Denmark. He was a late century Viking king. He actually outlawed dueling, believe it or not. Impressive that he had such a nice sword that would be good for dueling, either with just the sword or with the shield. This sword has a nice weight to it. We don't have any of the specs on it right now. It should be back up on Medieval Shoppe soon, because I talked to Earl Tim and he said that it would be. But this sword is balanced in such a way, other than the quillion not being as broad, because it's a Viking age sword, that it would work great for blade fencing, for civilian situations. If all you had was your sword on and you didn't have your round shield or your skelder, it would work great. I mean, you could use it for that. The thing is, one of the things I don't particularly extremely like is a longer handle, but if you were going to wear something like a gauntlet of something, or something like that, a gauntlet, male gauntlet, it would probably work good for that, because you've got a little extra room. It works with the cast blow, even though the hilt's a little bit longer than a lot of historical models, stuff that you find in museums. It's a bit long, I'm not going to lie about that. It still feels great to the hand. The shape of the actual pommel on the back with the actual rounding of the hilt is I don't know how to explain it. With the it's almost like a blacksmith or really fine suede or a rough suede. It's stitched. You have the metal here for your baldric to actually strap it with. It's beautiful, and everything's all the steel or iron is blacking like if it is from the forge, and it's a sturdy construction. You can tell it is a full tang. I mean, pretty much you can. I've checked it with a magnet already. It's a beautiful sword. I think it'll do a lot. We're going to go out today and test it on our ballistic shell head. I made a special one, extra tough, and we're going to see how well it performs. Later, I'd like to come back and do some speed type cutting with it to test, because it handles so well and recovers quickly with a cast blow or with any type of cut that I think it'd be fun to do something and see how lightning quick it is, because that's how it feels. In your hand, I would say it's about 2.5 pounds. I mean, it's not very, the blade's about almost 2 inches, not quite, 1 3/4 inches or so at the widest. So it's not a very deep I-beam construction or a deep fuller, because it doesn't need to be. It's a uniform steel. I believe it's EN45. I mean, from all the swords I've tested from, a lot of times that's what they use, the EN45. It's very durable, hardened steel. That means it's going to be really springy and nice. I think it's going to cut very well. So let's go out and get started and see how this all works out. Alright, we're here with the River Thames sword. Beautiful sword. Beautiful sheath. I think it's going to perform just as well. We've got our ballistic shell head today. It's extremely tough, our 20% ballistic skeleton. And I do think I made a very good analog head today to test on. I think I'm going to start off with a possible horizontal cut, just straight through the skull, and see what we can do with that. Oh!
Yes! That's probably one of the most gruesome cuts I've ever seen one of our swords do for Medieval Shoppe.
Hey, this sword feels like it has the ability to take the entire skull cap off. So, since it felt like it had the ability, it feels like it has plenty of speed. It's extremely sharp. I thought I would just go for it.
It looks really agile.
Oh yeah, you can feel the speed in this one. Unlike the other pattern welded blades, not putting them down, but they have a lot more heft to them. That's just the way they're made, and they have to. This blade being a uniform steel, it's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker. They had blades like this early period as well, a lot of blades. So it feels great. It's not as blade heavy, and it's got just more of a, there's a blade presence. Don't get rid of that one. I mean, there's some heft to it, but it's just so well balanced and so light and fast that, yeah, it just felt good. That's why I tried it. We've almost taken the entire top off. Almost. As you can see inside here. We went all the way from here to here. Just a little bit more. We're missing about that much. Just about that much blade cut, and then we had the whole top of the head completely off. I'm extremely impressed.
Me too. I'm glad I picked that one. Thank you for sending me that sword, Tim. That's an awesome blade.
Oh, yes, I love this.
Let's try some more cuts. I want to see that skull destroyed.
I still like mine, but I'm pretty envious. This is pretty sweet. And it's a nice sword. Oh!
Whoa!
I would say that we pretty much took his head clean off.
Well, took the top of his head clean
Yeah.
off.
That's pretty Hannibal Lecter there. Looks like brain surgery.
That was brutal. You didn't
Wanna
totally
see
take
what
it
they
off, but
I was going to see what a cut coming up would do, so at an angle, so that's what we ended up getting.
still, that's a really nice sword. It does a really nice job. Lots of precision. I notice your hits are square on.
Oh, doing any best here, doing any best. I think that was a nice cut. It's just that also I had to avoid this, and I was trying to come up with an angle, so it kind of made me do a certain angle coming up. And
Well, it works out great because we still have plenty of gel head to tear
But
up.
of course, the shoulders would be here as well. So. Oh yeah, certainly. Oh! Ooh, got it in the eye. Oh! And that cut actually knocked the skull out when we cut through the actual jaw into the face. Oh, nasty. Oh. Here, he can have that back for now. We cut like right into here. Ooh. Blade's performing extremely well. Not bad at all. Ooh. Our jaw actually held up quite well to it that time, but I think it just allowed the bounce because this head's already been damaged. Oh!
I think there was just a lot of bounce there.
Oh yeah, but we took it in half. The actual cap got cut in half on that one.
Despite the bounce.
Oh,
That
yeah.
says a lot about that sword and how well it cuts.
Oh, most certainly. I'm trying to get it back like it was so you can see what took place here. We came straight in and cut the cap in half. I don't know where the other piece is at. Oh, it's right here. Now, this is very difficult to cut. I just don't have all the pieces to put back together. Yeah, that's very impressive. Considering we just set it up there. The only thing that was holding up there was just setting in place. So it is already
That
damaged.
is very
but
impressive.
yes.
I'm gonna take Thrand's phrase. That is very impressive. Now
Very
I will
impressive.
say that is impressive.
And as you see, the way we make these, there is a piece of PVC pipe that goes all the way to the top, which there wouldn't be anything like that in there for a brain. You know, there wouldn't be anything solid in this part of the skull. So when we take two-handers and stuff, and we chop the entire top off, including this piece, gives you an idea how much power those have. When we're using something like a claymore, perhaps let's say, or the two-handed Scottish sword. But I'm extremely impressed because remember, it has to deal with this as well. A lot of these cuts to be able to do what it's doing. And we have a lot of give and bounce. I mean, this thing is not in place like you would think. It moves like a head. Like if somebody was to give when they got hit, this thing actually moves in that manner. Oh!
Really nice. Really, really awesome. That
Finally
was
got
great.
my clean decap and through the tube we were talking about that heavier
PVC
mass
pipe.
swords do a little bit better with larger two-handers. That was bugging me. I had to get rid of it.
Again, you can really see the speed that sword travels at.
Oh, most certainly. It would be great for a
Great.
decap. The casting style blow works great with it. Almost any style cut seems to work great with it.
It's very evident in the way that top came off right there.
Oh, most certainly. It was just, you could feel it just travel smooth, clean through. Just beautiful.
Oh!
Ooh, we lost it off the pedestal with that one. But it went straight in through our spine. I'll try to remount him up there for the decap at the end here. But to give you an idea what this thing did, it went straight in through our spine and into the skull. You can see the blade inside. So that shot straight to the side would have went straight into the spine if you were aiming, if you hit the spine. The spine's not exactly aligned properly, but close. It would have went straight into the spine if you aimed for it and still dispatched your warrior. I think that would have been a kill. He would have been dead. The reason it came off the pedestal was just had so much force it picked it up. If it hadn't picked it up, I think it would have went through deeper and farther. Beautiful thrust. It's just so well balanced. I mean, you even have good tip control with it. That's why I was able to get such a right-on shot right under the ear while I was aiming.
It'd make a good sword for almost anybody, Viking era or later.
Yes, if you had a slightly different quillion, it'd probably be great for sword fencing. This is very much like a blade that you could carry. I mean, like you could carry in a civilian situation as well as in a battle situation. It's got enough heft to work against armor and that type of fight with a round shield, which is probably the predominant style.
And as we've seen with this thrust, that point control.
Oh yeah, you could also use it without a shield and sword fence with it. Oh! I tried something different, went with a back edge. Oh. And I hit that pesky chin there. And we went clean through the jawbone and into the spine. I would say that's more than good enough. Going through the entire jaw, shattering the spine. That's why we saw the spine still up there. I think that's a kill. And that was the back edge. I used the actual back edge to see how much force I could get behind it due to the speed of the sword. I thought it was a good thing to try out. Beautiful. That is nasty. We still have a little jaw here, as you see how it cut clean through. And I had to do that on both sides. You can see the jaw still in here intact, where it cut clean through. We just lost the actual chin. It got torn off as it went through. And you can see the spine in here where it actually hit the next to one of our makeshift vertebrae, where we actually strengthened the actual tooth, and still went right under there, cutting halfway through it, even though it went through the other piece. So that's equivalent of going through 2 spines, the way we set these up, over 2 spines. I am extremely impressed. Look at all that gel that it sliced through beautifully. It's impressive. Hope you all enjoyed our episode. The sword has performed extremely well. I love the handling, the speed of it. We need to come back and do some speed tests. I mean, do some stuff, see how fast we can cover with the blade and cut multiple targets, do some bottles, maybe some poor man's tatami, rolled wet newspaper, harder than actual tatami. We'll do some of that. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Be sure and tune in for more later. And farewell.